Hello, everybody. I got Gary DiDio on from, he's the CEO of U.S. Clinical Research Group right here in the greater Los Angeles area, Bellflower specifically, for those of you familiar with the area. And for those not, it doesn't matter. It's greater LA, and that's where Gary's site is based out of. Gary has been a client of ours for how long, Gary? Has been over a year?
We've been with you guys for just about a year, actually maybe a little over a year.
A little over a year.
Yeah, we
Okay.
started with you right when we were thinking about getting into the game.
Mm-hmm. And your PI, Dr. As how do
Dr.
you pronounce
Robert,
it? Dr.
yeah, Dr.
Robert.
Robert Gary. He's been in the industry for over 15 years, or a little longer than that, actually.
So just to give everyone watching some context, Dr. Robert, your PI, has research experience,
Oh yeah,
decided to work with you guys for your startup around January 2018.
right.
You reached out, your coordinator, Francesca, um put me in touch with you guys, and then we started working with you shortly out thereafter. And what was that process like? I mean, it's a lot of people think they can open a clinic and then just all of a sudden they'll get tons of business, and that's how it works. And you're here to tell them that no, right?
Not the
That's not how it
case.
works. So what was the case for you?
Well, the doctor and I decided to get into this business with Francesca, and um, Francesca had heard of you guys, and we were starting from brand scratch. We were brand new, and didn't really have any way of getting into the game. We didn't have any contacts outside of the doctor, and he's always been a PI, so not really on the business end of it. Um, so we contacted you guys, and what a wealth of information we got from you guys. And from that point forward, once we started working with you, we started developing our business. We started shopping for a bunch of different deals with your help. And it took better part of, I would say, 6 to 8 months before we even got anything happening at all. The first deal we came across was a complicated UTI study that we picked up with the help of you guys. And once we finally locked that deal down, then we started getting more deals. It started snowballing,
Yeah.
and now we started February of 18 as a corporation, but prior to that, it was months of preparing to get things moving. So we're probably in this a year and a half now, and we have 6 studies that are active, and
Wow.
then we also have another 4 that are about to become active.
So you're gonna have 10 studies here soon.
10 studies ongoing, active at the same time.
So you would have just preferred a couple in the beginning, and then a couple in the middle, and a couple now. I mean, you're just getting all of them like towards the last couple of months, right?
Well, right. We really kind of bombarded the market trying to get anything we could because we wanted to ramp this business up. And all of a sudden, we had nothing, and then all of a sudden they just started coming. And
And
it's
why do
a
you
little
think
overwhelming.
why do you think that was the case? Because normally with our clients, and yes, you are in a one of the more saturated markets. I should say we are. We're in this greater LA area too. We are in one of the top 2 or 3 more saturated markets in the country. So all of our clients from LA or from Miami, I tell them it could take longer, but typically a new site, once they hire us, will start seeing some kind of positive signs of a study, like a site selection visit, within 3 to 4 months. Prior to that, you should see a lot of leads your way, and we'll be doing a lot of feasibility surveys for you. But to get that actual site selection visit usually takes 3 or 4 months, and for you, it took 6 to 8 months, right?
Right. It took us a little longer, and I don't know why that actually was. We were receiving a lot of leads from you guys, and you guys really helped us with every process along the way, especially with the contracts, the budget negotiations, these are all things that I was new at the time.
Hmm.
And if without you guys, I would have been completely lost.
Yeah.
So, I went from, running a medical business, which is similar, but not even anywhere in the same realm.
Right.
So once I started working with you and Chris and your team over there, it was, well, eye-opening, not to say the least.
It's like a whole new world of opportunities out there.
A lot of opportunities, but really, to me, it was eye-opening as to what I really did not know. And you guys have helped me learn this in a short period of time. I've learned a lot of things, and really had a lot of help with Chris. Chris has been great. I mean, the guy's been fantastic. He's really worked with me step by step with the contracts, with the budget negotiations, preparing us for site selection, preparing us for the visits here. Matter of fact, we had one today.
Oh, a site selection visit today?
Yep. Yeah.
Congrats. Did you do well?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is now like your 10th or 11th site selection
Oh,
visit, right?
we have the 6 going. We have the 4 coming that are about to become active, and we've got many more in the pipe.
Aha.
And
See,
that's
it's
because
starting to snowball now.
right. We've been really active about really applying for a lot of studies.
Now, what allowed you to sustain that initial 6 months, which is admittedly longer than most clients? I think I've had this conversation with you like 5 times. Like, for you guys, for some reason, it's just taking way longer, even for an LA client. Like, what sustained you? And I know the answer is because you have a private practice as well. But I mean,
Right.
if it wasn't for that, do you think you would have given up?
Well, we would have had to figure out how to make some money. That's for sure.
Yeah.
If we didn't have a successful practice, we would have had to borrow a lot of money.
Right. Right.
There's no way we would have been able to do it without that.
So getting that first study is paramount. If you're a brand new client, let's say they don't have the luxury of having a private practice that they can build from and that could subsidize their investment in this research site. I think, in my opinion, they shouldn't sign any long-term lease. If they can, they should work in their PI's private practice until they get that first study. And then if they need more space, now go out and get a lease. Because the studies start snowballing after a while.
No, you're 100% right. I would recommend that nobody signs a lease of any sort. Work from your home if you have to.
Right.
Save all the money you can in any way you possibly can. But when it comes to rent or lease on a location, it's not really necessary until you start getting the studies.
Right. And you know what? And I get jealous too. Some of our clients in the Midwest, they'll sign up with us, and because of the lack of sites in their area, they'll get a study within a matter of weeks of being a client.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but then the problem becomes then they tell their colleagues, and their colleagues might be in Florida or here, and then they expect the same results, and it's not always going to be. It's rarely, those are atypical results for any of the coasts.
The saturation.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And it really comes down to how active I think you want to be as far as your business development goes. How much you want to put into that and how much effort you want to put into that. Because financially it can get expensive, whereas it also can be done cheap as long as you have computer knowledge, which I really don't, but my staff does.
Yeah.
And you guys do. And we really, actually we used you. You built our websites.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did.
That was very helpful in that, in knowing where to advertise for everything. Basically, we used Craigslist. We used everything as far as Google. We were all over the internet.
So how is U.S. Clinical Research Group set up? I know how you're set up, but for anyone watching or listening, you have a great PI with a private practice, and you have a very experienced and good study coordinator. Is that really it? Do you have more pieces?
Oh no, yeah. Well, we have we have actually we have the study coordinator who's Francesca, who's been in it for a long time,
Very good.
very knowledgeable. The doctor, who's a wonderful PI, has many years in the business. We also have three new girls that they actually were trained by Francesca and the doctor along the way. So once we started uh, applying for studies and then getting the studies, we started hiring a staff and training them.
I
Because
see.
without the extra girls, without the extra coordinators, would not be able to do it. We have too much business now.
And I haven't met these new
No,
coordinators.
you have
Okay,
not.
I'll come down at some point. I mean, we're not far from you. So what's the goal for 2019 now? Like, where do you want to take this, and what do you
Well,
see?
I'll tell you, we're trying to build up the business in 2019 so that we can bring in. To me, it's all about monetary. It's about making money.
Of course,
Um, that's my end of the business is running the business and bringing in the money. And for us, I'd like to see us do 2 million this year.
this
That's
year,
that's our goal.
gross,
That's our
gross.
gross.
Okay, very good. Do you think that is? Do you think that's doable based on the budgets? I mean, you must have seen some of the budgets already.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
based on the budgets of the studies that we have that are ongoing, and also some of the studies that we are going to start going active with, we're I think we'll be able to get well into the million five, and if I push it hard, I think we'll definitely go into the 2 million mark.
Gary, you are my new hero, sir. How many patient visits is this? How many patient visits on average do you have a day or in a week?
Well,
Uh,
that actually it varies because we have the private practice running out of the same location,
right.
so we try to coordinate it so we're off on one day with one and
Yeah.
on the next day with the other.
Yeah.
And some days it overlaps, and we have two rooms that are just set up for research,
Mm-hmm.
and then the rest of the facility is set up for our practice.
Yeah.
Um, we are seeing anywhere from depending on the study, we're seeing anywhere from 2 to 4 visits a day, sometimes
Wow.
six
No
visits a day.
kidding. So you
Yeah,
up to between 2 to 6 visits a day
right. In research,
for all your in research, of course, for all your studies combined.
correct.
So
That's right
yeah,
now.
that would get you if you let's say I'm gonna do some quick math. So let's call it four. Okay, 4 visits a day times 5, that's 20 a week times 4, 80 visits a week. Each one pays, let's say, 1,300 a visit. Just ballpark. So that's 104K a
Sure.
month times 12. So you'll be at 1.2 if you don't do any more growing. And we're in January right now.
Right.
Okay, so you're on right now. If nothing else changes, you don't get another study, and you don't increase your patient activity, you just maintain it. You'll
Hmm.
hit 1.2 just with some back of the napkin math that I did
Right.
here. But so your goal is to actually increase that as the
We're,
year
we're
goes on.
trying to at least double what we've got going now because we're planning
Wow,
on bringing on 2 or 3 more coordinators and ramping this up.
I see. And who's doing your QA, like quality assurance, like making sure coordinators?
Francesca.
Francesca. Okay.
Yeah, Francesca's doing that.
Wow. Is she now full time with you guys, or is she still working
She's
other places?
actually she's been with us now just about full time.
Okay.
And well, when I say full time, her hours extend into the wee hours of the evening and the nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's here sometimes from the morning till the night, and then she's here. Then she's not here for a couple of days, and then she's back from
You guys
working
are
10 12 hour days.
hustling, and you have no research background, Gary. So
I have done.
do you have any interest in learning how to QA this stuff, or are you one of those people that's like, you know what, I know my skill set. I don't want to do that. I have the people in place for that.
Right. For me, it's more my skill set is all about business, and I would like to learn it. I'm going to learn, but I'm focusing on business development and just running the business and keeping it going financially.
So keeping the pipeline full,
Absolutely.
patient recruitment, which
Yes.
for you guys should be easy, right? They're all coming from
Oh,
Dr. Roberts?
we have a huge recruitment over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Just our regular patient load, we pull 85% of our
Wow.
research
You know,
from.
your next challenge is going to be coming up with all the space for all these monitoring visits.
That's that's already been a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, from visiting your site a few times, I mean, it's on the it's not small. Like it's you can do 2 million a year in there, but the scheduling, it's going to slow down the amount of patient visits you can have unless you're okay with seeing patients while monitors are there too. I know some sites
And
don't schedule,
that's
right?
what we're doing now. We're
Okay.
seeing patients while monitors are here.
Yeah, as long as you have the PI oversight, you're okay. But sometimes the monitors want the coordinators for longer than the coordinators have available, and then the patients have nowhere to go really, but in the waiting room, which is not
They,
accomplishing much.
they don't like doing that.
No.
But for the most part, as of now, what we've been doing is just we've been seeing the patients while the monitors are here. It hasn't been an issue at this point. If it becomes a problem, we'll have to rearrange a few things.
That's fantastic. So 2 to 6 patients a day, and you've brought on new staff to accommodate this.
Yeah.
EDC, I mean, they're doing all this stuff, like all the data entry. You're making sure that they're doing it in a timely manner.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff. Okay. And are you
It's been a
meeting
bit
with
of
the
a French.
monitors? Are you
Oh
meeting
yeah.
with the monitors?
I met with the monitors actually today. As a matter of fact,
Okay.
one just left maybe half an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I meet with them as they come in. More or less, I say hello. We talk about business,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't really get involved in the actual study portion.
Yeah. One of the things you can do, I used to do this a lot. I should do more of it, but I don't. Or Dr. Roberts should meet with the monitor at the end of their visit and ask them how your coordinators are doing. Because you don't really need to know the nuts and bolts and all the nitty gritty.
Hmm.
You can still communicate whatever they tell you back to your staff. That way, at least you'll know if you're on the right track or not.
Oh no, you're right. Absolutely right.
Hmm. That's really good, Gary. I'm very happy to hear that. I didn't realize you had that many studies going on. I know it took forever to get you that first study, but seems like it just snowballed after that, and that's like quite literally.
The thing is, what I think a lot of it was as well. A lot of the help came from you guys. And also the fact that the doctor has been in this industry a long time. Once some of the companies found out that he was doing his own thing, they started calling him.
I see.
And so in some of those deals you guys haven't even heard of, only because we did it directly through the companies since they knew the doctor,
Hmm.
and they had they just directly they contacted us. It was an easy situation, and the nuts and bolts of the deals were very simple. There weren't like some of the deals that I've had to get the help from you, from Chris.
Yeah.
Some of the things that you guys have helped us with are just absolutely very complicated stuff that I would have never been able to do, and
Yeah.
Chris has walked me through step by step by step. As a matter of fact, he helped me with one yesterday and today, and we're about to ink that deal.
That is fantastic, man. So very good, and this is a really good market for research. But now you have the benefit of your PI and all of you guys now. Like you're no longer a new site with, once you do 10 studies, you can't really say you're a new site anymore. You're experienced even as a site now. So you've got that going for you. Even when the market takes a turn for the worse, which it always does, there's cycles,
Oh, sure.
you guys will then be an experienced site. So when there are less studies and more people competing, sponsors would rather go to a company like yours than someone brand new.
And that kind of goes back to where it took us a long time in the beginning. I think because we were brand new, they hadn't heard of us. It took a little bit of a warming period for the companies to warm up to us.
Yeah.
And once that happened, it was amazing how it snowballed.
Have you had a site selection visit where you were not selected?
Not yet.
Okay. So it was really just a
Oh,
matter
I'm
of
sorry.
getting
No,
them there.
I'm sorry. We have had one.
Okay.
Yeah, one site selection visit didn't go our way, and they said it was because of lack of experience for that particular type of study.
Okay. Did you feel like you could have done a good job on that study?
I feel like we could have done it. I felt like it may have been a stretch as far as getting the type of patients for this study.
Okay.
We would have had to contact other specialists that we wouldn't have been selecting from our own.
Mm-hmm. And now what's the strategy going forward? Are you going to accept every study, or are you going to now be more selective because
More
you have the
selective.
luxury?
Sure.
So you
Yes,
will
more
be.
selective.
Okay.
Yeah, right now we're definitely becoming more selective and not just taking anything that comes up the pipe.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel that we did that for the very first few, and it was okay because everything that we took was good. I just would have liked to take different types of studies that would have fit our practice here better. But now we have the option to be selective, so we are.
Mm-hmm. That's very good. Well, good luck with the goal for 2019. I'm sure we'll run into each other this year a few times. I'm glad to see you guys doing really good now. I mean, this is very good, and just continue from there, man. This is a really good business to be in.
Oh, I totally agree. And like I said, without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to do it at all. We didn't have anybody well, I didn't have anybody that would have helped me and walked me through step by step with with the CTAs and the budget, everything.
Right.
Without you guys, without you and Chris, there's no way I would have been able to learn. It would have taken me 10 years.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, that's why we do it. This is why this year we're growing even our client side, because people recognize that, hey, it's yes, we want a full study pipeline, but we also want all these other things you offer, and you're not charging anything else for it. It's all included.
No,
So
you guys have a great service, and you truly are the gurus, especially when it comes to this. I
thank
swear,
you.
I don't even call you guys Chris and Dem. I tell Francisco, let's call the gurus. We got a question.
That's awesome, Gary. I appreciate it, man. And tell Dr. Roberts I said hi. Love that guy. I mean, he's amazing. You got really lucky there. Oh, any thoughts on specializing at some point? Because Dr. Roberts is a general medicine family practice guy, right?
But he's actually a pathologist.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes, he's a pathologist, but he actually sees patients. He does general family medicine, hormone replacement therapy, opiate addiction therapy and recovery. We do a lot of different things, specializing in
Okay, I see.
things like hormones and addiction therapy. But we pretty much do it all here, even minor surgery.
Interesting. Okay. Good. So you got everything taken care of, man. You got all the ingredients and the foundation and the activity to point towards a very realistic goal that you've set for yourself.
I'm hoping we hit it, and if I do, you'll be the first to know.
I will be the first to know. That is really cool, Gary. I like to hear this. If anyone wants to reach out to you, I know you're not big on social media and all that, but how can they contact you?
They can contact me either on our website, which would be usresearchgroup.com, and also we're on drrobertsmedicalcenter.com. That's basically the best way to reach us.
I'll have links underneath the YouTube and on the podcast. We've been having more CRAs and sponsors listening and watching lately, so let's try to get you another study out of this too.
That'd be great. I'll take as many as I can get.
That's right, Gary. Very proud of you guys, man. Glad you persevered, because it was frustrating. I mean, that's even frustrating for us, like to see that you're not getting traction, and it's taking like double what it takes an average client of ours. So I'm glad to see this. You guys deserve it, and just keep it up.
Thanks, Dan. I really appreciate it. You guys have been great, and I appreciate all the work you guys have put into us.
Thank you very much, Gary, and thank you everyone for watching and listening, and we'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.
See you later.